Hi all, this is Jan of the Jan Files. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Today is going to be a little hard for me. I'm going to talk about Trump and women. As somebody who has been sexually harassed and abused, it's unfathomable to me that his behavior and what he has said over the years has been completely excused by so many, of the American public. It disgusts me. He always has disgusted me. As a New Yorker, I lived here when he was in his quote prime, and there's nothing remotely redeeming about this human being. But I'm going to focus on women because I'm fucking tired. I am so tired of the media and of the excuses by the Republicans who support him. Both, whatever you want to call the average American maggots, and the Republican GOP. Of course, it's Republican GOP. I'm sorry, I'm a little agitated about this one. Because I had to sit and I actually went through and got a lot of quotes of what Trump has said over the years in reference to women. And I'm also just, I don't really know what the word is. I mean, like, I know how we got here, sort of, but at what point did fathers stop caring about their daughters? That's the question I have. At what point? Because clearly a good percentage of the population, especially all, and I mean every single Trump supporter, don't give a shit about women. I don't care if he puts women in places of power. I don't care. They don't give a shit about women unless they serve their purposes. And the fact is that was at one point supposed to be the party of family values. Well, go fuck those family values, because there is nothing in Trump's treatment of women that anybody should endorse or embrace. But they do, and they make excuses, and they have daughters and wives. And obviously, they have no moral core. They have no integrity. And I'm going to probably insert a lot of my own opinion into this. What I'm reading are quotes. And so I'm going to give you the background on some. But you can't listen to my other tapes of who he was involved with and then hear these quotes and think anything other than Donald Trump is an evil piece of shit. Okay? That's my opinion. I'm entitled to that. I'm so small, I would doubt he would ever come after me. But I'm not afraid. That's the one thing I seem to have lost over the years, is my fear. I have two daughters. My daughters happen to be two gorgeous young Black women, and I would die for them. And so at a minimum, I'm going to speak out for them. Okay, so here's the list of some of his quotes. I'll never be able to give you everything, only because it's too long and it becomes redundant at some point, right? So here we go. This is from 1991. Oh, and they won't be in chronological order for whatever reason, but that didn't happen, okay? So I'll try to bring up the year before the quote, so if you want to double check it. And obviously, if I get anything wrong, always please tell me, okay? So here we go. 1991. You know, it really doesn't matter what the media write, as long as you've got a young and beautiful piece of ass. But she's got to be young and beautiful. This quote was from Esquire magazine, And it was made in a discussion about handling media criticism, suggesting that a man's association with attractive women could overshadow negative press. This was at the time that he was still married to Ivana Trump, but yet was having a widely publicized affair with Marla Maples, which he was pretending to be a publicist and telling the world about. Yes, that's true too. Second one. I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it? That was 1992, and it's a leaked Entertainment Tonight recording where he commented on a 10-year-old girl's future attractiveness. Let me say this one again. I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it? Well, he was talking about a 10-year-old. What nothing but a piece of scum would ever say that about any little girl. Okay? Think about it. And that was from CBS News, anyway, just so you know. 1994. Well, I think that she's got a lot of Marla. She's a really beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. But we don't know whether she's got this part yet, but time will tell. I'm doing what he did in the interview. I don't know if you guys, some of you may know and remember Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, but he was referring to Tiffany Trump, his daughter by Marla Maples, when she was literally an infant. An infant. We don't know what her breast size is going to be, but she's got great legs. What? She's an infant. (1997) I think I could have nailed Princess Diana. You know when he said this? 3 weeks after her death on the Howard Stern show, which he was on all the time, where he could brag about his sexual conquests and all the women who wanted to sleep with him. But that's what he said about Princess Diana 3 weeks after her death. I could have nailed her. 2002. 30 is a perfect age for a woman. When a woman turns 35, it's called checkout time. 2003. Now somebody who a lot of people don't credit to, but in actuality is really beautiful, is Paris Hilton. I've known Paris Hilton from the time she's 12. Her parents are friends of mine. And the first time I saw her, she walked into the room and I said, "Who the hell is that?" She was 12 years old. These are his own words, recorded on, of course, Howard Stern. 2004. She does have a very nice figure. If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Have you ever looked at your child and thought, oh, I would date them if they weren't mine? What? Are you kidding? 2004, what do you think of Lindsay Lohan? There's something there, right? But you have to like freckles. I've seen a close-up of her chest and a lot of freckles. And are you into freckles? She's probably deeply troubled and therefore great in bed. How come the deeply troubled women, deeply, deeply troubled, they're always the best in bed? Howard Stern. 2004. You never get to the face because the body's so good. You know who he was talking about? Tennis player Steffi Graf. He was talking about her body, separated from her head. 2005. Oh, this we all should remember. I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down on Palm Beach. I moved on her and I failed. I admit it. I did try and fuck her. She was married. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then all of a sudden I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. That was from the Access Hollywood tape. I'm kind of taking a break, a moment after I say some of these things for you to just digest some of these quotes and think about your daughters, your mother, your sister, whatever the women are in your life, yourself. 2005, I'm more automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. And yes, that's also the Hollywood Access tape. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. That is describing sexual assault. Okay? He's admitting to it. Sorry. Gotta find, I've highlighted the ones I'm reading. 2005, it could be a conflict of interest. I go backstage and everyone's getting dressed and everything else. And you know, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant. And therefore, I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting because I want to make sure that everything is good. Now, I said this on the Howard Stern show because he was owner of the Miss Universe organization, and he was admitting he was going backstage during the pageants when contestants were undressed, claiming it was part of his inspection duties. Now, several former contestants, including Tasha Dixon, Miss Arizona of 2001, later corroborated this, alleging Trump entered dressing rooms unannounced. So he could see all these young girls naked. 2006, she's actually always been very voluptuous. Who do you think he's talking about? His daughter. 2006. If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, I'd look at her right in that fat, ugly face of hers, and I'd say, Rosie, you're fired. 2006, in referencing Angelina Jolie. She's been with so many guys, she makes me look like a baby. Okay, with the other side. And I just don't find her attractive. I don't know what that was on Larry King Live, what exactly that happened, that caused him to say that, what part of the conversation. But, again, here we start facing when women have sex or light sex, that they are hookers or sluts or whatever else you want to call them, because that is the purview of a man, not a woman. None of this should surprise you. Not one little thing that's being said should surprise you. Maybe you didn't know, but I don't think you should be surprised. 2008, I had a lot of sex with Melania. I figured 125 a piece as opposed to 100. Haven't we all had threesomes? Are we babies? This was on Howard Stern, and let me read you the context. In a 2008 Howard Stern episode, Stern asked Trump about his sex life with Melania, then his fiance. Trump boasted about frequent sex, quantified it jokingly, and admitted to engaging in threesomes and foursomes, normalizing such behavior. How you conduct your sex life is your own business. And I'm not going to judge somebody for how that is done as long as they are not abusing other people in that process. But this entire, all of these, and there are more, only a couple more, I won't drag this on, show you who this man is, show you his regard for women, starting at a very young age. So none of this in reference to Epstein and who he hung out with is bullshit. This is all part and parcel. You cannot separate any of this, his relationships, the world he was in, and his own words. You know, at this point, that anybody would be thinking that there isn't a cover-up going on, by the way, is naive, and that's being nice, okay? There is clearly, in my opinion, a cover-up going on in relationship to Donald Trump and his relationship to Epstein. Period. We'll go on. I hit the stop record button by mistake. I know you're probably going, I'm glad it's over. You have to treat them like shit. 1992. That's from a New York Magazine interview. Trump made this comment during a conversation about his relationships with women, reflecting a callous attitude. You think? You have to treat them like shit. (2006), and this is when he didn't run for president, but he was thinking about it. I think the only difference between me and the other candidates is that I'm more honest and my women are more beautiful. My women. His own, you know, the women he owns, of course. (2013). 26,000 unreported sexual assaults in the military. Only 238 convictions. What did these geniuses expect when they put men and women together? Because, of course, men can't control themselves and shouldn't be asked to. 2015. If Hillary Clinton can't satisfy her husband, what makes her think she can satisfy America? That's it. That's my list of quotes. Again, this one's a little difficult for me because I know what it's like to be treated, and I'm not alone, obviously. I think there's probably not a woman alive who doesn't understand what it means to be harassed or sexually assaulted or just diminished by men. And I cannot get how any parent could hear these statements and think this was a man who should be the president of the United States. There are more women in this country than men. And yet, 53% of white women voted for him. And many of you also have family members and friends who are MAGA. And some of you don't talk about politics because you don't want to get everyone upset. And I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult to have family members who don't have any morals. And that's what I'm going to say. They don't have any morals. The fact that you can't say anything to them says something about you. And I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel. If you cannot see where we are at, the danger we are in, and the danger women are in, then you have no clue. No fucking clue. There is actually a dude that Hexist, some, Christian wannabe pastor, said that he doesn't think women should vote, shouldn't have the right to vote, that it should be one vote for the household, and that should be made by a man. And you know who posted that? Pete Hegseth, our current head of the Defense Department. Um, I don't know, folks. I don't know when we started tolerating all of these horrible kinds of issues, incidents, comments by men about women. I know they've been going on forever. I'm very aware of that, trust me. But I thought, and I could say the same thing about racism, which will be on another um, video, that we were getting better, but that anybody can defend his behavior, defend and think that this is all actually a hoax about Epstein, can say, oh, well, this is all about Bill Clinton. I don't, and I've said this, I don't want to keep saying it. I don't care who's on the fucking list, and it's not just a list, okay? Be really aware of that. There are tapes, there are CDs, there are pictures, and Michael Wolff talks about seeing Jeffrey Epstein showing him Polaroids of Trump sitting with topless models on his lap at Jeffrey's mansion in Palm Beach. So that from Michael Wolff, who has 100 hours of Epstein's tape. But there is so much here. But more importantly is, what the fuck are we doing that we think that this is just being honest, or that this is locker room talk? It is deeply, deeply offensive. It lacks any kind of moral clarity or core that any woman is participating in his administration is depraved. And anyone who is defending this man, if there's a heaven or hell, however you feel, man, may they rot in hell. Okay? I don't know what else to say. This is not the great United States of America when we elect a man now twice, although I have questions about the second election. But we elect twice a man who has said these things about women, has treated women like this. What? And is excused because, oh, I might not like everything he does, but I love his doing this and this. So you just love his lies because he's done shit. But you're willing to throw our daughters, our sisters, our mothers, our grandmothers into the toilet for this man. It's no big deal if he talks about women like that. Well, yes, it is. It's a big fucking deal. And for those of you who have ignored it, or are also sitting with people, family or friends, who you're still friends with, I am not. I have no mega friends or family, by the way. I don't allow racist misogynists to step over my doorway. How about that? I don't care who they are. So obviously I'm very angry, which seems to be how I end these things. But I'm going to end this. And I need people to start really talking about how this affects women and what is happening to women, that we are also dying because we cannot get health care, abortion care. We're dying. And so many women voted for the groceries, right? That the groceries were going to go down when they got elected Trump. They didn't give a shit about women. Oh, God, I could be here all day. I'm not going to be. The only way change happens is if we stand up. And it's not just sending money to the right candidates or posting on Facebook. It's about having real conversations with real people. Even if you agree, they still have to talk about these things. We still have to really, really make each other aware. Take care.